Peace. My name is Tony Perkins, and welcome to the Live, Learn, and Grow podcast. The 3 pillars to enhance our quality of life. Live, just striving to make today better than yesterday. Learn, something we do every single day once we acknowledge the lesson. And grow, simply building off the lesson learned. Stay tuned, we got a great show. Peace.
I'm Freddie Robinson. I'm from Jersey City. I'm a producer, actor, comedian. I love doing voiceover. I make beats, I produce music for television. What the fuck you got going on up in here? I'm having a party.
Welcome back to the Maurice Popovich Show.
Peace, 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 and welcome back to the Live, Learn, and Grow podcast. My guest for this evening, my main man, Fred.
What's up?
What's going
How you
on,
doing,
brother?
bro?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. You got lost? You got what
A little bit. Now my driver was trying to milk the clock.
Right.
I should have left a little bit earlier, but that's one of the things I'm trying to work on in my life is being on time everywhere. So.
Right. Live, learn, and grow. That's what we're
Yeah,
doing here.
that's
You know
what's
what I
up.
mean? That's what's
My
up.
apologies.
It's all good, brother. You here. That's what I'm talking about. But let's just jump right into it, man. Let's just talk about the entertainment. You know, you heavy in entertainment. It was something, we grew up together or whatever, but I see you do a lot of work, man. Kill the Messenger,
Where you at?
the web series.
Oh.
Let's talk
You
about
really
it.
get
Let's
him,
talk
like, I'm
about
like,
it.
where you at?
No. When you hear that, what's going on with the? It's a web series, right?
Yeah, well, I'm not really too much involved with it behind the scenes. You know,
Yeah.
it was something that I was supposed to be involved with.
Right.
But then a lot of different things started happening, around the world, and I had to take a step back and kind of focus on, things that were close to home, and hopefully it resurfaces one day, and maybe it still is. I haven't really been watching or paying attention too much. Right. I had to kind of shut down for a little bit and just kind of refocus, my attention on different things.
Yeah. It was I seen a couple of clips of it. It was pretty cool though. It was pretty cool.
What clip did you see?
I seen what was it? You and some guy where he was telling you something about what you were supposed to tell the people.
Yeah, I don't recall that.
You don't recall it?
Nah.
Well, it was definitely you.
That was me.
It was definitely you. But
I sound like one of them Congress people.
right? Yeah.
I don't recall.
You don't recall that. All right. Well, let's talk about something you can identify with,
Yeah,
man.
what's
And
up,
that's music,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
And it's been, you come from music.
Yes.
Your dad.
Yeah.
Your dad is a singer.
My dad and my mom.
And your mom. Okay. Is that what got you started?
Well, yeah, it's in our DNA.
Right.
Since we were kids, listening to all the 8-track tapes and the albums.
Right.
Around the house and just basically jamming and hearing my mother and father sing, and then later on, going to church and seeing my mom sing in the choir, and then eventually joining the choir myself. That's pretty much how it started, but then I found out a little bit more about the history of it pertaining to, like, as far as, like, my father being involved with the music. Back in the days, he was in a band. My dad was in the Army, so he sung and entertained while he was in the Army, and then he was in a band, and he was like the lead singer, and at some point he bumped into James Brown at a show, and James Brown gave him his number to his booking agent, told him to give him a call, and I said, so what'd you do? He said, I called him. And I said, what happened? He said, the phone rang, and they said, James Brown Booking Agency. And he said his heart started beating fast. He got scared and hung up the phone. And that was history. I said, you ain't called back? He was like, nah, man, it scared the hell out of me because he didn't believe it. Like, it was so amazing for him, you know, back then, some people, like, I don't think that this pertains to my dad, but some people are afraid of success, and they kind of sabotage themselves sometimes, or their nerves get in the way, whereas they don't go and fulfill the dreams that, or things that's in front of them, or the doors that's open. They let it close right up, and they feel a lot better that way. Some people will like that. I've noticed even now to today, I meet people like that that are afraid, and
Afraid of that greatness.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've even dealt with that at certain points, you know, in my life, you know,
Mm-hmm.
as far as like comedy and stand up.
Right.
But as far as music, yeah, that's what's up. Like, I got it from my parents and found out my dad was involved, and it was just in us, you know.
Yeah.
And at some point, I just started to learn how to make music later on down the line, and I joined the group myself eventually, you know, after during my teen years.
Right.
So
What does music do for you? You know, for me, you know, music is like therapeutic for me.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, you know, it
sure.
affects people different. You know,
the
but
music. It's like, you ever seen that movie Monsters Ball with Halle Berry?
yeah, sure.
Music
Sure.
make me feel good.
Yeah.
Make me feel good. That's what music do
That's
for me.
right.
You know,
That's right.
it's a feeling to it. It's a vibe to it. Growing up, I mean, I listened to pretty much whatever my parents played and whatever I heard on the road, while we were traveling down, because my parents are from the South, so we would visit the South every year. With all the music, you know, you travel through states, all the stations tend to change. If you don't have a tape
That's
in
right.
the deck
That's right.
or repeat going from side to side, you hear country music, you hear whatever you can, you know.
Right,
So I
right.
got to kind of listen to a little bit of everything, and then at some point I started listening to like classical music, Arabic music, you know, all types of music, you know, folk music, and I found that different vibrations from the music gave me different types of energy. So I put on the Arabic music when I'm cleaning the house. You know, I hear that. I turn the vacuum on and jam, and like I would get everything done though. You know,
Right.
And then classical music was more like me sitting down thinking. Country music, I would listen to just to like kind of see what's up, like see what's happening. It just put me in like I might be cooking some food or something, listening to some country music. And then hip hop, you know, I want to jam.
Right.
I want to jam. I want to have fun. It's a different type of energy. I want to start freestyling and singing. And last but not least, like I listen to jazz too. Like Sade, I listen to her. No disrespect, Sade, but I listen to Sade when I go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? She make me relax. I listen to what's it called? Feel Like Paradise? No, not that one. Smooth Operator. You know, when I go to the bathroom,
Operator.
I get on that toilet bowl, and if God forbid you sitting outside the door, that's all you're gonna hear from my phone, and then
35 to 45 minutes.
right. But yeah, so
Word. Yeah, so that's dope.
music give me vibes, man. Like
Yeah.
different music do different things for me.
That's what's up. You was talking about your group
Oh yeah,
format,
yes.
right? Talk
Yes.
about that experience, you know. And it's funny because you guys, you know, we were young,
Yes.
you know, and you guys got a taste of that.
Yeah, so format basically started with two people. My boy Daquan and Renee and Nick Q. It was just two of them, and their name was Wade. And then I hung out with them all the time. And whenever they would sing, I would start harmonizing with them. They're like, yo, you can sing? I'm like, I don't really know. I was kind of, not shy, but I knew I had something. So every time they would sing, I would harmonize, and they was like, yo, you want to get in the group? I'm like, yeah, I ain't got nothing else to do. You know, we
Right.
18 years old.
Yeah.
So that that's how I got in the group. And then eventually, I brought my boy Rashawn into the group, and that's how we became Format, because it was 4 of us.
Right.
And it stood for 4 men achieving through togetherness. So, but it was a crazy experience because, you know, it's back in the days, like the 90s or whatever, and we was pushing hard, you know, to live that dream. I mean, rehearsing in the alleyways, paying for our own demos. We actually worked with this dude, Gilbert Keys, in his basement. Like, he recorded a lot of our first demo tapes, you know. Big shout, Gil, you know.
Big shout out to Gil.
So, like, we got, like, it's like people we already kind of knew, and they were like, oh, snap, y'all got a group. So we just kept working hard, rehearsing all times of the night, and trying to record and saving our money to pay for studio time to record.
Wow.
And then, you know, long story short, someone seen us perform at an army base down by in the back roads of Jersey City, Cave and Point.
Right.
And we performed back there, and this lady named Jazz, big shout Jazz, noticed us, and then, like, I guess a week later she hit us up. She was like, yo, I think I might have something for y'all. Now, this is years on end, like, we already had put in that work up until that point. And then I had a dream, actually, one night, and I dreamt that it was very clear and vivid. I dreamt that I was looking at and talking to this dude that was in this hip-hop video with Naughty by Nature. He was like in his, it was like a Suzuki Jeep or something.
Right.
In the video, I think it was Hip Hop Parade or something. And I remember his face, but I didn't know who he was at the time. So the lady Jazz called us up while we was in rehearsal, and she said, I got something for you guys. And we were like, put her on speakerphone, and she was like, listen. She was like, you guys got a manager? And we was like, no, not really, not right now. And she said, okay. She said, I got something for y'all. And we was like, what's that? And she said, do you know the producer from Naughty by Nature? And we all looked at each other, because I had told them about the dream. And I'm looking like, oh, snap. Is this really happening? So she said, the producer from Naughty by Nature, he want to meet y'all. So I'm going to set the meeting up for y'all so we could go and y'all could perform for him. And she was like, all right? And we was like, yeah. She was like, just get ready. Hung up the phone. I started busting out crying. I was like, oh, God. It's true. No, the dream, it was kind of scary because I had actually seen it before it happened. Right. And being in a singing group was a great learning experience. It's really difficult to maintain a group due to, like, you know, difference in opinions, different in work ethic, different in passion.
Right. Bunch of different personalities.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's difficult, but if you're able to persevere through it, you know, it's a good thing, you know. Yeah. But that's what I kind of got out of that. And the Format group, we got our deal finally with Illtown, and we signed to Motown Records. And we had a management deal eventually with Flavor Unit, with Queen Latifah and Shakim.
I didn't even know.
Latifah, Shakim, what's up? Flavor Unit.
Word. I didn't even know that Format had an acronym. It was an acronym for that. I didn't even know that. I thought it was just Format. Yeah. I didn't even know, you know, it stood for something.
Yeah, we couldn't. I mean, this is the era of Jodeci and all these different groups came out with their names. You know, Boys to Men and all this. Everybody had dope names. Yeah. And we were trying to figure out, you know, what was the best fit for us. And the Format came because we was listening to a Jodeci CD, and somebody, I forgot what remix it was. It might have been Come and Talk to Me or something. I don't know if it was P. Diddy or somebody said, and that don't fit the Jodeci format. You know, in my head is that ain't what I be at. Something like that. Right. And we was like, yo, format, that's good. And then we came up with what it really stood for. Okay. And that's how that happened.
That's dope, man. That's a great experience, man. And, you know, that's a lesson learned for me.
Yeah.
You know, because that's why we are here, you know, to live, learn, and grow.
Yes. It was a big learning experience. Like I said, like, if the passion isn't there, and then this goes for everybody in life, even to now, like if the passion isn't there, what you're trying to do isn't gonna work. If your driving work ethic isn't there, it's not gonna work. If your vision isn't clear, it's not gonna work. Like you gotta have all those things going for you, especially in a group setting. You know, some people can carry the weight for others, but it gotta be like I don't even know. The symmetry has to be there in that type of setting, and even if you're a solo artist,
Right.
if you don't have those things, it's not gonna work. Like you gotta wanna really do it. Like I felt like at some point in time, once we got our record deal and everything was going cool, we shooting videos, meeting all these people, traveling, I felt like the passion for it started dying a little bit. And one of the things I learned from that is never let any like outside influences get into your circle and dilute your Kool-Aid or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Don't let that extra water get in there. It's going to taste bad. Or don't put too much sugar, you know. You got the right ingredients, stick to it, you know. And our situation just got a little diluted, and, you know, I felt like the passion was dying, and I just learned, like, yo, never give up. Just keep going.
And that was, you know, that was my question, man. You know, do that whole process that you went through, that you sat and just told us all about.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to ask you, what did you get from that experience? You know what I mean? Because at the time, I'm not sure. I remember, but was did Naughty by Nature? They had their hits out already, right?
Yeah, they had already put out Hip Hop Ray.
Right.
They had already put out OPP.
OPP.
I think we came in around like right after that, OPP, and I think it was Poverty's Paradise or something was next after that.
Right.
We were signed to them.
Right. So I say that to say, like, what was that?
Yeah.
What was that experience like? You know, because they was on top.
Yeah.
You know, with
it was
that.
a great experience.
Yeah. Right.
Because, you know, we were always in the studio either at KG's house or in New York City at Jimi Hendrix studio on 8th Street, Electric Ladyland, or somewhere close in that vicinity. Like, we would always be around these different people. Like, we would see Missy Elliott in the studio and really not really know, like, what's going on in that next room. You know, we in the next room, Missy Elliott recording in the next room, Maxwell recording downstairs. Like, we didn't really know because we was in the room, and then we would bump into them in the hallway and stuff. And the experience was dope, like just being in there working all the time. But the best part of it was traveling, you know, going out to LA and different places, performing and meeting just people we seen kind of come up in the industry, people we looked up to, and new people that were out. And just kind of like, I mean, I met TLC. We would go to all these events. Like, we met TLC, we met Biggie, we met Puff, I met Dr. Dre in the bathroom. Weird story, but true. I'm taking a piss. Somebody comes in, you know, you don't want to look, you peeing. You like,
Fred done went from taking a shit to taking a piss.
Everything happens in the bathroom. For some reason. I've done deals in the bathroom. I'm on the phone like, no, I want this much. You know.
Word.
But that's how I met Dr. Dre at a gin and tonic, Tanqueray event in New York.
Right.
Biggie, everybody was there. Jermaine Dupri. That, being in that environment and that experience, it just felt like a room full of energy. Like, I'm around other talented people, you know? And I didn't want to lose that. And eventually we kind of lost it because the group broke up later on down the line. But I never lost the passion.
Right. So from that point on, you know, after the group breaks up, you do what? You're a solo artist now?
I'm starving.
Or you're starving.
I'm in the basement.
And you're
not
producing.
Eating food, crying, my eyes out for months. No, this is for real.
Yeah.
I was like stressed out because I felt like the wind got knocked out of me because we had it right there in the palm of our hands. And everything that we needed to succeed. We just needed to keep working. And it just, you know, for one reason or another, it just went away. And I was sad, you know. Thank God I spent my money wisely, invested in equipment. And, am I boring you or something?
Nah, man. It's all good. Pardon me.
But like, I was hey, Tone, I'm dead serious. I was stressed out. Like, I lost about 20 pounds that I couldn't afford to lose. And I'll never forget, I wouldn't come out the basement. I was just down there making beats all day. I might eat a snack here and there, but I was in the basement just making beats every day. Like, I just wouldn't stop.
The grind was real.
Yeah, and my father seen me one day. He was like, boy, come here. I said, what's up, Pop? He said, you on drugs? I said, no. What you mean? He was like, you lost weight. I said, yeah, I know. He said, boy, you got to eat. I said, Pop, I'm stressed out. You know, like, look at what's happened to me and us, you know. And he was like, I get it, but you got to eat. He said, I'm taking you to Florida. So he packed me up. I forgot when exactly it was, but we got in the car, drove down to Florida, stayed for a week. I didn't have any other distractions. I couldn't make music. It's like in the country.
Right.
All the roads is dirt roads, there's mad bugs outside. I don't really want to go out there. But, you know, you wake up early in the morning to the chickens, roosters, and then you eat breakfast. I got back on the schedule with my health, and that was important.
Definitely.
Because it really stressed me out. But after that, you know, I just try to get back on track with making music and figuring out my next move in life.
So that brings us to you're also I wanted to talk about the comedy. Yeah. Comedy.
I'm gonna be honest, like
what made you do that? Or, you know, just like you're a talented guy.
Comedy has always been a part of my life because we were always around the barbershop. And in the barbershop, there's always crack sessions. And you can't escape it, especially if you're getting your hair cut. But you come in there, it's game on. Like, it's Crackville all day. Like, so that was a part of my life, always. But me actually taking on comedy as a job and a passion was that, you know, I mean, I watched a lot of comedy growing up, but I never knew that I could do it until, like, I'm just out and about at all these different events, just talking to people, and they were like, yo, you a comedian? After 50 people ask you if you're a comedian, at some point you gotta say, hey, maybe I got something here.
Right.
So, my crazy behind, I said, you know what? It don't hurt to try it, you know. Let me try it. And I figured out real quick that doing comedy in the barbershop and at a little lounge with your boys or in the backyard is way different than getting on stage in front of 50,000 people. It's way different. I found out real quick, Tone.
But the thing about it, I seen the show that you did at the Lowe's.
That was my first show.
Right.
Ever.
Oh, okay, all right. But I'm pretty hard on comedians, me. But the thing about it is, it don't take a lot for me to laugh. I'm a silly dude.
Nah.
But for some reason, I'm just hard on comedians as far as their sets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It takes a lot for them to really get me keying and all that. But I was looking at how you was working it.
That was my first show.
Right, but you was working it. You know what I'm saying? Me checking it out, you was working it as if it was your fifth show.
I don't know.
To me.
I think it might have been it's there, but I feel like the adrenaline of the moment. Like, the Lowe's Theater is a big venue.
Yeah.
Like, you would think for your first show, you're going to go try it out, try your content out in front of 10, 15, maybe 20 people. That theater is huge. There's 500, 600, 800 people in this place, or more.
Right.
I couldn't really see a way in the back, but before getting on stage, I'm nervous. I'm asking people for, like, weed. I'm like, yo, y'all got some weed? I'm nervous. I'm drinking water, pouring it on my face. I'm writing notes in my hand.
Right.
Like, it was my first time. I didn't know how I was going to do. I knew I had prepped for it somewhat, but that was my first show, Tone. I didn't know how I was going to fly and go. And I noticed I was moving a lot during the show, but the content that I was talking about was like kind of like stuff I would talk about when I'm out and about with people. But I was just working on my delivery, you know, and I was scared. I ain't even gonna lie.
Right.
That was my first show.
But what I did notice when you in your closing, you was like, my name is Freddie Robinson and I'm out.
Yeah. I got the hell out of there.
Right.
That's when it kicked in. I don't know how you did. Get off the stage.
But you know, I applaud you for that though, man. You know,
I was scared.
You did a great job though.
That
You
was
did
the
a great
icebreaker.
job. Right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So now, Love and Hip Hop, right?
Yeah.
Chrissy and Mr. Jones
Yeah, on VH1, yeah.
on VH1. Talk about that experience and how it all happened.
Well, this happened about 19, 20 years ago. Before Love and Hip Hop, I met Mama Jones, and I met her, weirdly enough, at a porn star was having a party for the release of a magazine, and the porn star was on the cover of the magazine. So I had tickets to it, and I met Mama Jones at a porn star's party. And I talked to her for a second. I didn't know what she was doing. I seen all these people following her with clothes on and walking in the line like they was in the army. And I'm like, miss, what's going on? Like, what's this? And she was like, oh, these my clothes. You like them? I'm like, oh, those your clothes? I was like, yeah, they fire. I said, I'm about to film a movie with, I forgot the name, the brothers, the twins. They uncle did The Godfather. Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
His nephews. They was about to shoot a movie, and I was in it in West Philly. So I told her, hey, listen, if I got opportunity, I'll put your clothes in the movie. And she was like, really? I said, yeah. So we exchanged information. I stayed in touch with her. And the movie came up, and I talked to the producers. I was like, oh, I got this lady. She can provide some clothing items for the film. So her husband, and a couple other people drove down to the set in West Philadelphia, and I put her clothes in the movie. And afterwards, she was like, come here. I said, what's up? She said, you know, you the first person that ever said they was going to do something for me and actually did it. And I was like, really? I said, wow. I said, that's so sad. I said, how old are you again? I said, this is damn sad. And she said, boy, stop. She said, I'm inviting you for dinner. You're going to come to my house. She was like, you know who my son is? And she told me who her son was, Jim Jones. I was like, yeah, I heard of him. But Jim wasn't really popping like that yet.
Right.
He's still, you know, doing his thing involved with, you know, Dipset and all that. But I didn't really know him for music like that. But long story short, I go to the house for the first time. It was like on Christmas Eve. She invited me. And I get there, me and my boy, we get out the car, and it's a car parked right in front of the house with just the little park lights on, and the window rolled down. And who is it? Jim Jones. He was like, yo, what's up? I was like, oh, yo, I'm looking for Nancy. And he was like, oh, all right, go right there. So he was in the car talking to somebody. At the time, I didn't know who it was, but I know who it was now. But I go in the house. Now we having Christmas Eve dinner and chilling in the crib. We talking. She took me to the basement. This lady had like about 1,000 pieces of clothes she done designed and made in the basement.
Nice.
Full of clothes. That's how Love and Hip Hop started. When I say that, I mean, I met her like that. And then years later, she finally moved from house to house to house in New Jersey and got settled in her permanent home. And she moved me into her house against my best will or wishes. I didn't want to go, but she started a clothing line. She was like, Freddie, you smart, you know the business, you know the game, blah, blah, blah. I need you on my team. You're moving in my house. I was like, no, I'm not. She said, Freddie, with that voice. He's like, Freddie, don't make me Freddie.
Right.
Frederick. And I'm like, all right, I'm packing. So I packed my clothes, moved into her house, right? 3 years later, I'm in this house for 3 years. Like, I felt like I was kidnapped. But while being in the house, I had a camera. And I was filming every day in the house. Everything crazy we would do, I was filming it. And then we would watch it at the end of the night. So eventually, I was like, yo, we got to do something with this. I was like, we should do a TV show. She was like, oh, that's a good idea. She said, what do you want to call it? I was like, Keeping Up with the Joneses. Because my mom used to always say that growing up. Why you always trying to keep up with the Joneses?
Right.
You know, that meant something.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that's an old saying.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, that's a good idea, Freddie. So she told her son eventually, yo, we should do a TV show, blah, blah, blah. Jim, manager Yandy, at the time was working with Mona Scott.
Right.
And they had an office over in the city at this Mona Me Entertainment or whatever. Long story short, they heard about the idea that Jim mom told to Jim, from me and her to Jim. Next thing you know, they filming a pilot for a show and we not really involved. And then they was like, oh, we're going to try to shoot a pilot on the Family Jones, they called it. Something like the Family Jones.
Before you go on, how did Jim feel about you living in the house with his mom? How was that? What was that like?
He knew why I was there.
Right.
He knew why I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And he respected the fact that I actually was very protective of his mother.
Right.
While he running around.
Mm-hmm.
And his son there too. Because his son was like only 2 years old at that time. So he knew why I was there. He knew I wasn't like there just bullshitting and like messing around and like using them for something.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was there, you know, when it was really nothing, you know. Right. So he knew. Like I was there at nights, times he'd come ring the bell at 3 o'clock in the morning and she mad as hell at him. And I go to the door because I'm downstairs. I go to the door, I'm like, who is it? He's like, oh, it's me, Freddie. I open the door. He's like, where my mother? I'm like, man, she upstairs. But I don't know if you want to come in right now. He was like, looking. And then she was like, Freddie, who that? I'm like, it's your son, Jomo. She was like, oh, tell him I'll be right down. Here she come with a baseball bat. She's like, you motherfucker. Like, I was there for that. And this dude took off.
Right.
Like, we all know about that baseball bat. So that's where Love and Hip Hop really came from, because they went and took the idea and just flipped the name and the concept. Actually, Jim and Chrissy went and pitched the idea to them, and they shot the Family Jones pilot. And then it was like, this is cool, but we need more. So they basically duplicated it. They took a rapper, his family, and his girlfriend. And whatever goes on in between that, and just multiplied it.
Right.
And called it Love and Hip Hop. And Jim and Chrissy was pretty upset about it. I was too, because it got birthed from me and his mother. And they was mad because they the ones went and presented the idea. So, but that's where Love and Hip Hop came from. But that was a great experience too, you know? Living that dream.
So you was the creator of Love and Hip Hop. Is it safe to say?
Yes.
Fred is the creator of Love and Hip Hop, him and Mama Jones.
And I got the tapes to prove it. Pretty much.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. So you guys did a song.
Oh, during the show?
Yeah.
It's called Psychotic Bitch. And that wasn't done intentionally for the show. That was never meant to be on the show. That was done because we were filming, but Mama Jones was mad that Chrissy called her a psychotic bitch. So she called me and said, Freddie, I want to do a song. I said, why? Like, what you want to do a song for? She's like, because Chrissy called me a psychotic bitch. I'm like, so what? I was like, just go, like, I was like, do what you do. Like, deal with it with your son, you know, talk to them. She's like, no, I want to make a diss record. I said, oh. I said, nah, oh, man. I was like, I don't know about that.
Right.
And then she was like, well, I need to come to your house so I can listen to some beats. I said, wait, what you mean? I said, you want me to do it? She's like, yeah. I said, nah, I'm good. She was like, Freddie, no, listen. She said, Freddie, no, listen. I'm not going to put this in the public. She was like, this just for my pleasure. She said it with a loud P. She said, my pleasure.
Right.
I'm just going to listen to it in the house and laugh and giggle and joke. I said, and that's it? She said, yeah. I said, you sure? I said, yeah. So she came over, we listened to the beat, and then I really seen how serious she was about it. And I'm like, I can't do this. She said, Freddie, listen, you gonna do the song? I said, nah, I'm good. She was like, well, she gave me an ultimatum. She said, if you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it, and it's gonna be a bad day. I said, what you mean? She said, if you don't do it, I'm gonna go get another producer to do it, and then I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say that, I'm gonna say that. I'm like, no. I was like, don't do that. I said, don't do that, please. She said, well, you gonna do it? It's just for fun. I said, all right, but you can't say that. All the things you was just saying. I was like, don't do that, please. And she was like, all right, I'll change what I'm gonna say if you do it for me. So I did it. I made it fun. The second I downloaded that MP3 and gave it to her, a CD or whatever, my phone was ringing at like 12 o'clock, probably the same night, from executive producers from VH1. I'm like, hello? They're like, Freddie, it's Stefan. I'm like, what's up, Stefan? What you doing up so late? He goes, it's not late. I'm in California. I'm like, oh, what's up? He's like, what's up with this song? I'm like, what song? He goes, the Mama Jones song. I was like this, oh my God. Why she let them hear it? She thought it was a joke. She emailed it to them. And now everybody's going crazy. And they was like, we got to use this. That's how that happened. I didn't want to do it. I was like, nah, this is not, no.
Y'all was acting crazy.
Yeah. I mean, eventually it came to like everybody signing off on it and using it for the show, but it wasn't for that originally.
That was dope. That's cool.
You got some water or something? I don't want your water. Nah, that look hot.
It's room temperature. It's better for you.
Yeah, I heard about that. I ain't
Come
no
on,
fish,
man.
bro.
Go ahead,
Do I look
man.
like a goldfish? This boy got me
Feel that,
drinking.
man.
He
Feel
got
that.
me drinking Petland water. What's the
Nah, man.
You know, alkaline in here.
Come on, man. That's good water right there, bro.
If I start flapping my fins and shit in here, told don't do that.
You good. It's better than getting vaccinated.
Oh, all right. But yeah,
Your body of work is impeccable though, man. You know, and I didn't realize how many TV shows you were on that you you were in, and young too.
Yeah, like I did Law and Order.
Right.
I was in a movie with Alec Baldwin. Anthony Hopkins, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Dan Aykroyd, Kim Cattrall. I did a couple other things. I was on 100 Center Street. I was in a 50 Cent video. I played his neighbor.
Yeah.
But
Steps.
Steps, the movie.
Yeah.
I did a couple of independent films too. Also did some voiceover work, which was a blessing. And like just being on Love and Hip Hop opened other doors too for me. I started figuring out how to like utilize my music for like background music for the shows and license my music out to them. So instead of chasing around rap artists to use my music, I just give my music to the network in bulk and catalogs, and they use it on the shows, and I just get paid every 3 months for the rest of my life.
That's dope. That's dope.
As much as they use it, they can use whatever they want.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That part.
That's cool, man.
Those are nice. What's those?
These are yeah, right.
How you say it? Okay now.
Okay now.
Okay.
You know it.
Oh, I left my thing.
We did some work.
That's good, huh?
Damn it, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was fun. That movie was fun. Damn it, man, was really fun.
Yeah.
It was comedy, like yeah, it was good. That was fun. It was a good body of work.
Right. I like. You know, you got great range. You test your range in acting.
Yeah.
You know, you're not afraid to step out of fray.
Nah, I want to do that more. You
Yeah.
know? I want to play an old man. I want to play a paraplegic or a handicap. I want to, I want to play someone in the army. I want to play someone from a more corporate standpoint. I want to do those things. I want to test the waters.
That's right.
Especially now, I don't know what's going on with this pandemic. They like, you got to get an appointment to come in the bank. You need an appointment to get in motor vehicles. You need an appointment to get your passport. But there's 60,000 people at the football game every Sunday. I'm like, what's going on?
Right.
The government closed, but the world ain't.
Right.
What's going on?
Speaking of that, because COVID hit everybody hard, man. You know, what was your coping mechanism during that time? You know, everybody was
Stay
just
the fuck out my face. Actually, nah. You know what happened? So where I live at in Jersey City, there's a lot of Chinese people that I started noticing. Started wearing masks, like out of nowhere. So one day my father was coming to meet me. So I got in the car with him to talk or whatever. And he was like, why all these damn people got on these masks? Because we didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And I was like, you right, Pop. I said, for the past like week or so, I've been seeing this. And this must have been like in December 2019 or November. So they was already prepared. So I'm looking, I'm like, I don't know why they got on the mask. So I said, guess what? He said, what? I said, I'm going to go buy me some tomorrow. So I went and got me some masks and some gloves. Everything they did, I did it. That was my coping mechanism. Everywhere I went, people was looking at me in the bars like, yo, why you got on that mask? Why you got on those gloves? I'm like, stay back. Something's going on in the world. And I didn't even know about the pandemic.
Right.
And lo and behold, everyone's making fun of me, bro. Everybody. At all the restaurants. And next thing you know, they're like, we started filming Love and Hip Hop again March 12th, I believe it was, 2020, or March 11th. And March 13th, the world shut down. Well, all this shut down over here. And that was my first day on the set. Well, back. And I had a job and didn't in one day. It was crazy.
Right.
I was back on the set and it just, everything shut down. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. So every single person that seen me with those masks and gloves on 2 months before, they was like, how did you know? Everyone
I
was
said
like,
that
yo,
too.
you too.
I seen you.
Yeah, you see.
Remember I seen you downtown.
See? So
That's
you
right.
already knew.
Yeah.
I was on top of that.
Right.
Stay away. I don't know what's going on.
Right. Let's just jump off topic for a second, man. You know, what your brother Jermaine is an elected official here in Jersey City, councilman.
Yeah.
Here in Jersey City. How do you feel about that? Like just being the brother, that's huge.
I don't really, that's his job.
Right,
like,
right.
I don't want that job. Like, I don't wish that on nobody because I see what goes on in politics. It can get a little dirty and crazy. I just feel like what I don't particularly like about politicians is you see them when it's election time. You see them. They be shaking your hand, kissing your baby, ringing your doorbell, knocking down your walls,
Kissing your
calling
baby.
your phone, kissing your cousin. They could tell everybody they love them. I'll be there tomorrow. What do you need from me? I'm here for you. And then after the election over, they win. It's like, what? Hello? You be like, hello?
Right.
Where you at? So I'm not saying that my brother particularly does that, but I feel like a lot of them do. And I just wish them luck with that because I don't really play them politics games. I do play politics in my way though.
In your way, right,
in
right.
like a street way, or
Right.
like I've known people in politics.
Different dynamics, though.
Yeah, I've known people in politics where I was able to pick up the phone and call somebody and get something done. Even for my brother, before he even got into politics. I make a phone call. What you need? Beep. Phone call, it's done. And I wasn't even an elected official doing that.
Right.
So when you're an elected official and I ask you something, like to help me do something, and you'll come do it, now I'm looking at you funny like, yo, these politicians are so weird. Like, I can't do it. You can't be a bad person and a politician. Or you could. That's your choice. But I just want people to be good people, you know. Like, the thing with my brother being in politics, it don't really affect me because people know I ain't about that life. They come to me, start talking politics, they be like, Freddie, you know last week the garbage man ain't pick up my damn garbage? I'm like, they ain't pick mine up either. Like, you got a phone number I can call? Like, don't ask me none of them questions to get nothing done because I'm not about that life.
Right.
You know? Like, I can't. I'm not involved in it. And like I said, I do play politics, but it's because I have relationships with people.
Right. So how does that make you feel when, you know, you're here in Jersey City, your brother's the elected official, and, you know, you start hearing bad talk. People bad-mouthing them.
I know my brother. Like,
Right.
I grew up with him. So, probably better than anybody. So, when they start bad-mouthing him, I weigh the facts. I'll be like, what is it that you saying he did? When did he do it? What time was it?
Right.
What did he say he was going to do? And what did he not do? Or whatever the case may be.
Right.
I'll weigh it. And if it's a fact, I'll be like, I'll go to him, tap him on his shoulder like, yo, what's wrong with you, bro? You better stop messing with them old people. You better bring them their bingo chips. They want bingo. You bringing them the what's the name of that game? You press the wood through it.
Jenga.
You bringing Jenga, and they want bingo.
Right.
Bruh.
Right. But
like,
you,
I call them on it. I'll be like, yo, you bugging. Like, you gotta
Right.
get it together.
But you, as a resident of Jersey City,
Yeah.
what you know, what are your views on what's taking place in Jersey City that you live in, and what you think can be changed or implemented or taken away from, you know, from all of that?
The first part is the violence. Like, for me, I just wish it would tamp down a little bit, like the violence with the kids and stuff. You know, I know some of them are blind to what's really going on because of the life and the culture that they're living now.
Right.
And I get it, but I don't think they really understand the future effect of what they're doing now. It's cause and effect. They always taught us that in school. So because they're killing each other, eventually we ain't gonna be here no more. We wiping ourselves out of the community, little by little. And people don't really realize, when you kill one person, you kill a whole generation. And do the numbers. Because let's say, back in the days, my grandmother had 12 kids, right? Imagine somebody shot my father back then. I wouldn't have been born.
Right.
Think about it. So when you kill what if somebody shot my grandfather? My father and all 12 of them kids would not have been born. And that's a whole generation of people. Cousins, brothers, nieces, nephews, great-grand. You get me? It goes like this. You kill one man, you take away any baby he ever could have had and any baby his kids could have. You kill off a generation. But people don't really think about it like that. That's one of the problems I have with the violence. And I do get people who have issues with each other, and I feel like there's better ways to solve them than just running down on people. It's too easy.
Right.
You know. But the other thing is the gentrification. Like, I mean, bullets is flying by, and then the Jews are walking by like the bullets ain't even there. Like they bulletproof or something. I mean, it'd be like, pow, 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 pow. they'll be holding their coat, walking like, come on, Jacob, let's go. Come on, move along, get your scooter, come on. They don't run, nothing, they just walk. It could be going down right there, and they just walking like it ain't even happening.
Right.
I don't like that they were knocking on people's doors trying to get them to sell their houses. I don't like that. I don't like that they was reaching out to people, including myself, asking me, because I'm from the community, to go to people's houses and ask them to sell their house to them. And they gonna hit me off with 10 grand per house. I thought about it. It sounded good at the time. I was like,
Just to
hey.
ask the question? Just to ask that question.
It ain't gonna hurt me to call Mr. Brown and say, Mr. Brown, I know late, you know, you still live on Ocean, right? Yeah. This Freddie from up the block. Yeah. You wouldn't happen to be selling your house, is you? Or thinking about it? And then
Fred got the pitch already. He already got the pitch.
yeah, cause I'm looking at them 10 G's. I'm like, now I know like at least 10 people want to sell their house.
Right.
That's 100 stacks right there. But then I ain't really trust those cats because I'm like, nah. Cause they sent me an email. They was like, I'm gonna email you a list of all the houses we want to purchase. And then they sent a list, and then me and my father building was on the list. I said, oh hell no. Like our address was on it. I said, nah, I'm good.
Wow. Word.
So I don't like that. I don't like that people are being brought here too from other areas, from other places, and given the opportunity to open up and start businesses, whether it be the marijuana businesses, or I see these dudes, like, I don't really see any people owning like liquor licenses really. Like there's a few,
Yeah.
but like all the liquor stores are like Indian or Chinese or something else. And then there's like a lot of the real estate is being bought up, you know, and we're not owning that. Like little by little, we losing, and I don't like it. And I feel like through city council, through the mayor, everything goes through them. The building department, the planner, all these big buildings coming up, they changing the roads, taking away parking, putting bike lanes. They making it uncomfortable for certain people and comfortable for certain people. And I don't really necessarily 100 agree with all of that, like happening. And it's happening fast.
Very fast. Very fast.
So,
Very fast. What's
what you put in this water, yo? It's good.
Yeah, you know. What's next for Fred?
Right now, I've been dibbling and dabbling into like cryptocurrency. I got a couple of things on board.
Right.
I'm getting into that NFT game, and real estate. Now that the pandemic is kind of slowing down a little bit, it's about time for me to get back into comedy and acting. Right. Yeah, that's the direction I'm going in now. Like, I'm still doing my music like for television. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna record like certain people, including myself and you, like close circle. But the focus is on getting this money, like through real estate, crypto, and licensing, you know, products and creating new products and getting on stage, back on stage, and doing comedy and getting back in front of that damn camera.
Hey, man,
Yo,
well...
what's in these lights? These ain't LEDs. These motherfuckers got Vegas in it or something.
Fred, we warming it up in here, man.
It's warm. It's nice and warm in here. It's nice.
Yeah. But,
I like the spot, man.
yeah.
Hey, this ain't Drink Champs.
Nah.
Not Drink Champs. This is Agua Land. I said,
Yeah.
Joe, you got something to drink? He said, I got water and iced tea. I said, great.
That's right.
That's why I put my drinks in my pocket.
Yeah. We live, learning, we growing
I
over
see
here,
y'all
man. That's what we doing.
After the break.
That's it.
But nah, Tom, I really appreciate this platform and you
yeah,
doing
man.
this.
I appreciate you
Yeah.
joining me today, man.
Sorry I was late. once again.
It's all good, but you know, we
learning.
moving on. We learning, and we growing from it. So your next outing or your next event that you
Yes.
are a guest at, make sure you're on time.
Yeah, like the one I gotta be at in a little bit.
Yeah, which probably was at 8:30.
Nah, I'm ahead of time. I'm ahead of schedule. 9:30, bro. I'm ahead of schedule.
Word.
Right there.
All right, man.
But
well,
no, like Tone, living, we done been through a lot.
yeah,
We done learned a lot
that's right.
based on our experiences. We know that.
That's right.
You can't learn without failing. First of all,
Right.
you got to go through things in order to learn what to do and what not to do. You know, like I changed a lot over the years. I learned like I can't have everybody in my circle. Like everybody ain't my friend. You know, even though I'm a nice person, I had to cut some girls off that I loved. You know, that I thought I was like, I loved them, but I had to cut them off because they wasn't good for me. Like I'm like, their energy is different. No one's gonna drag me down. And as much as I can protect myself and anybody in my circle, whether that be my father, my son, or anybody like that, you know, going down, I'm gonna do that. But I learned, you know, that, and most of all, laugh. You know, don't forget to laugh, because laughing, it helps your soul, man.
That's right.
Laughing is good energy.
That's right.
So
Always.
laugh, y'all.
Yeah.
Cause stress will kill you.
That's right. What a way to
Learn
end the
that.
segment. What a way to end the segment, man.
Stress will kill you. You can feel it in your gut. Go with your gut feelings. That's what I learned too. If you feel something in your gut ain't right, just don't do it. Because you know why? Because this is my last thing. This is really a very important thing that I learned. Because I would always go against my gut feeling.
Right.
Because I second guess. I'm like, this person seemed like this. Even with tenants that I rent apartments to. And my gut said, don't rent to them. They up to something. They pretending. And then I'm like, they're good. It's like the conscience be on one shoulder like,
That's
don't
all.
rent to them. And then the other conscience be like, let them do it. You can use the money. And then like 6 months into the deal, be like, I told you not to rent to them.
That's right. That's right. That's
Like,
right.
listen
That's
to
right.
your gut
Yeah.
feeling, because 99.9% of the time is right.
That's right. That's right.
You get a vibe, you get an energy from people.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
go with that.
Word. Appreciate you, brother, man.
Thank you. I appreciate
You know, it's great.
Them some nice sneakers, bro.
Thank you, brother, man.
I gotta get up with you.
Yeah.
In
You
a
here?
night game.
You here? But
Man,
yeah,
that was
man.
nice. You get some sponsors up in here, I'll start saying the name of them.
Go ahead, man.
Oh.
We need some sponsors, man. We looking for some
Hey,
sponsors, man.
We will name everything we got on, or anything anybody has on. We need the sponsors to chime in and start, helping us out. Well, helping this gentleman out. And you got to see these sneakers. I ain't even going to tell y'all what they are, because we ain't get a check yet.
That's right. There you go.
That's what I learned, too.
That's right.
Free advertising. People been doing free advertising way too long.
That's why there ain't no label on that bottle.
Agua land.
That's right. That's right. So there you have it, man. Live, Learn, and Grow, the podcast. My man, Freddie Robinson Jr., Tony Perkins. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.